Hello, YouTube. It's been a second. I haven't been around. I've been traveling a lot. I went on like 3 trips. It was kind of crazy. And I'm like kind of too broke to do that, but I did it. What's been up with me? Well, if you read the title of this video, which I already have decided on, you'll know what's been up with me, which is that I'm emo now. So literally, what the fuck is going on? Why are you saying that you're emo now? What do you mean you're emo now? Wasn't everyone emo in like 2014 or earlier or around then? I don't even fucking know. I wasn't emo. I wasn't emo until now. So honestly, what happened is that I suddenly got really into My Chemical Romance. How did I get into My Chemical Romance in 2025, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. I have Tumblr. I go on Tumblr more than any other social media. You can't catch me dead on Instagram. I hate it there. So I was just on Tumblr, as you do, and I follow a lot of Dan and Phil people on Tumblr because that is why I have Tumblr. And a lot of Dan and Phil people also are emo. I've known this forever because like literally like Dan and Phil are like emo icons. So obviously I've known that emo people liked them. That makes sense. Oh, it looks so cool. So what do emo people like? Emo bands. I know that for a really long time, MCR did not identify as emo. But I read this one long ass post. I'll see if I can find it and link it. It's just like somebody info dumping all of the MCR lore that they know. It was awesome. I know for a long time they didn't identify as emo, and then this person, the way that they phrased it, which I thought was cool, was that the emo genre would go on to shape itself around them instead of them like fitting into the pre-existing emo genre. And I don't even know, like the way that I learn stuff is kind of funny. Like I'm not going to like sit down and like methodically go through everything. I'm just gonna like whatever makes me the most excited is what I'm gonna focus on. So the stuff that I know about is kind of random. Like there are probably some things that a lot of people know that I don't know. I'm talking about like maybe like music, though at this point I know most of their music because I finally listened to Danger Days. This is like, isn't this crazy? Like I'm 27 and a half and I just never got into this, and now I am so fucking hype about this band that I literally got a last minute ticket from someone on Tumblr to go see their fucking show in New Jersey. Like, I've never been someone that spends money. I'm like someone that saves money and doesn't spend it for the most part. Not that I save very much money because I have like a job that doesn't pay very much. But suddenly I was like, I don't care about money. I would rather have this experience than I would have money. This is more valuable to me than saving money. This is just like a side thing. But like, I remember having a conversation with my friends at some point where we were talking about how like our parents still believe in retirement, saving up for retirement. The concept of saving up for retirement just doesn't seem like a real tangible thing to most of my friends and me. I'm saving a little bit of money, but not enough money to one day not have to have a job. You know, like I'm saving enough money to like do fun things. And like maybe that's me being young and stupid, but I also know that it was not this hard to save money in the past. And that I don't think that our parents understand that. Anyway, they're doing a tour right now. This is the thing that's gotten me the most excited in a really long time. So the band My Chemical Romance from New Jersey is currently on their North American stadium tour, first ever stadium tour. The first thing that I saw was, I'm scrolling down on Tumblr to try to find when I first liked something about MCR. Okay, wait. It might be this. I have chills right now. I saw this video before I ever listened to that song. I didn't even fucking know the song Famous Last Words by My Chemical Romance. But I saw this video. Let's get into it. So that video actually might have been the first thing that I liked related to MCR. I was just seeing stuff about their concert, and I saw that one video of everyone singing along to Famous Last Words. I liked that, and then I liked this picture, which is like a parallel of the Black Parade tour and then the Long Live the Black Parade tour that they're doing now. And then this article, I remember this is one of the first things that I saw. My Chemical Romance fans threatened to sell tickets after onstage weird demonic execution stunt. Emo band My Chemical Romance surprised fans with a theatrical performance to open up their tour in Seattle. However, not everyone was thrilled with the political commentary. Someone posted that and said, "Fuck, we have never been so back." And I was like, dude, okay, what are they up to? What the fuck are they doing? Their show has an execution stunt? Like, excuse me? This is another thing that I saw early on. Oh, this is an awesome post. I'm gonna reblog this right now. Reblog. It's a post of all of the rules that they put on the Jumbotron before the show starts. So just very interesting to be at the stadium and you have all of these rules for your audience, just like on the Jumbotron, like the biggest that you can get. And then I saw this video of Gerard Way dying. This is wild. Gerard dying while the rest of the band gets kidnapped. Hello, is the caption here. And I couldn't agree more. It's a video of Gerard dying on stage and crawling to this outline that's already on the ground. To me, it really reminded me of this one episode of Doctor Who with Peter Capaldi, where he's like stuck in this time loop unknowingly and keeps like ending up dying in the exact same place over and over and over. I think he gets cloned or something and just keeps coming back. So I saw that and the band getting kidnapped and taken off stage. Again, on the fucking Jumbotron. I started liking art about them. I started liking this post with all of these pictures of Gerard wearing leather. Oh my god, and then this was the other thing that I saw that I was like, it's a video of Gerard Way getting handed some instructions on stage, and then he makes fun of the guy that's handing him the instructions. The clerk is the name of this character. Throws the instructions down and then bows, kind of, stays down, and the guy slaps him in the face. Oh, and this is unique to night one. He gets slapped in the face, he gets up, and then he's like he loved it. Nuts behavior. Insane behavior. And by the way, when he gets slapped at the next show, he does not have the same reaction. So there's like stuff that changes as the show progresses, where like just different small instances happen differently as it goes on, which makes it really, really fun to follow this tour. There's just so much. There is just so much. There's so much, and it's so good. So, okay, I think it's time for me to put the Tumblr likes away. I saw this shit, and I was like, okay, I need to know their deal. I need to know what's going on with this band, because I had never looked into it before. I have this picture. I wonder if I can find it. Okay, I am still convinced that it is in that box over there, but I couldn't find it, and I'm not going to spend any more time looking for it because it's been a while. I'm sweating. But I can just draw it for you. So this is me, and I exist in this bubble for some reason. This is just how it works for me. And inside the bubble are things I understand. And outside the bubble are things I don't understand. And those things are like fucking like meteors going towards me in my bubble of things that I understand. But this wall is extremely strong and hard to penetrate. So often things just bounce off and I continue to not really be even aware of them because they don't exist in the same, like within my bubble. But sometimes something will break through the bubble and then pretty soon it becomes something that I feel like I understand. And that's what happened with MCR. So I literally like, because I was a fucking teenager in like 2014. I was a teenager from 2011 to 2016. And I somehow avoided being aware of My Chemical Romance. Now, suddenly, I'm like, hold on. I need to know everything about this freaking band. I posted on Tumblr, like, can people tell me about this band? Someone told me there's a documentary. I watched the whole documentary. It was awesome. It's called Life on the Murder Scene. And then I read this, like, post that I'll link below. That is, like, somebody just, like, info dumping everything they know about MCR. Awesome. Exactly what I wanted. And I started listening to their music. I started with their first album, and I went in order. It took me a while to get into their music. Well, I do have a wide range of music, and I had listened to a few MCR songs before. I think I had Our Lady of Sorrows on one of my playlists, but only because, like, Dan mentioned it or something like that, like something Dan and Phil related. But I'd listened to a little bit of MCR before. I obviously knew the song Welcome to the Black Parade. I wasn't that, like, out of the loop, but I barely knew any of their other songs. So I started with Bullets, their first album. So I listened to their whole first album like several times, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna move on to their second album. Fell in love with their second album. I wish that I had a shirt for that album instead of this album, but it's okay. But I fucking love 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge so much. Every song is perfect. I feel like I had been missing... Guppy, stop. My cat was eating my leftover tomato sauce. Bad. I feel like I was missing music that had that degree of emotion in it. And I'm like, okay, yes, obviously emo. Like, duh. But I never thought about it that way. Like, where the actual, like, performance of the music, like, not only are the instrumentals and the lyrics emotional, but also there's this performative aspect of performing the emotion and therefore feeling it through that performance that I became obsessed with. I just, like, immediately was, like, entranced by Gerard Way and immediately started telling people that I want to be the lead singer in a band. Which is crazy, but I still feel that way. I was listening to Revenge, like, nonstop. I was doing MCR karaoke. I was obsessed with that album. I'm still obsessed with that fucking album. It's amazing. I listened to that nonstop for, like, a fucking week at least. And then I felt like it was time to move on to Welcome to the Black Parade. But all the while I was seeing the updates from the tour. I've never seen something like this on the scale that this is on. And part of what makes it so interesting to me is how many people are going to see this shit and that they're seeing it on the Jumbotron in the fucking stadium. They're literally touring with an actor playing the Grand Immortal Dictator of Drag, which is the fictional nation that the Black Parade is from. Real quick tangent. I'm just going to explain to you what I know about the tour. So, the Black Parade is the band, Gerard Way, Frank Iero, Mikey Way, Ray Toro. And they have been released from what seems to be maybe a prison called The Moat, specifically so that they can perform their music on a tour for the benefit and the entertainment of the Grand Immortal Dictator of Drag. This dictator is supposedly someone that is, like, beloved and has brought the people of Drag into the concrete age and brought about prosperity. But it's very, like, I don't know how to put it, like, mid-20th century Soviet vibes. Another part of the tour is that Gerard Way worked with this font inventor who does lettering for comic books mostly, it seems like, or maybe movies, I don't know. They created this font or code that's called Kaposhka. It's basically like is that like what a cipher is? Or it's like a code where each symbol represents an English letter or a letter in our alphabet. And then you can, like, write in that way in, like, this code. And it looks like this. And they're using this for their tour. Like, you might have seen the MCR logo now that they're using. I'll show you real quick, because literally this is how much of a fucking nerd I am right now about this shit. I have learned this fucking code, not like completely by heart, but most of the letters I know at this point. If you've seen this symbol, that's MCR in this code, MCR. It's called Kaposhka, and it's so much fun. I'm gonna finish explaining a little bit about the tour, but I'm not gonna get into like analyzing the tour or trying to understand it in that way. I'm just trying to tell you about it so that you know why it captured my attention and made me insane. Yes, they're basically this band touring for the benefit of the dictator. Throughout the show, there's all these periods where there's like a clash between the band and like the authorities and the people that are making them do this stuff. The first one that I saw that I think that like made me like, whoa, there are two things. It's the execution and the slap. The execution was wild. They have the audience vote. They give you these pieces of paper that say yay and nay. I'll put a picture. And then you're asked at one point to vote. At the first show, they didn't know what they were voting for. They were just like, yay or nay. It's an election. Yay or nay. At the second show, they were like, oh, silly me. I meant to say execution. Haha, that's what we're voting on, whether or not these people die. At every show so far, I think this is important, they have the audience vote, but they always execute the people. At the show that I went to the one in New Jersey, and I'm so glad that I did because I can't go to the one in Philly. The other crazy thing that happened there is that they received the key to the city of Belleville, New Jersey in the middle of their set, and they refused to break character as the Black Parade. So they get this ceremonial key, and then they're acting confused, like they don't know who this is, where Belleville is, what New Jersey is, why they're getting a key. Frank tries to eat it, and then in return, they're like, thank you, Mayor of Belleville, New Jersey. Here is a token from our land, Drog. And they give him a bundle of wheat and a giant fish wrapped in newspaper with like flowers sticking out of it. And then they go on to sing, then they go on to execute the four people. And at the show that I was at, they barely let us vote. Like, there was like, I barely knew what was happening. It was like, you know how this works by now, yeah, right? Yay means they die, nay means they don't die. What do you want to see? Awesome, they die, let's go. They immediately execute these people. I mean, it's a stunt, it's not like literal death, there's not blood, etc. But yeah, they do the execution, and then they immediately sing Welcome to the Black Parade. The rest of the tour, like, the other stuff that happens, Gerard Way is, like, slightly disobeying and facing consequences during the show of his disobedience. And then at the end of the show, I thought at first that it was because of disobedience. Like, when I saw that first clip of them getting kidnapped, I was like, oh, they must have done something. But they just get kidnapped. Like, maybe it's because the last song is so much of like a hopeful resistance song, or maybe it's because the show is getting to an end and maybe the musicians are trying to drag it on by continuing to play, but the show's over, so they're like, we're taking you away. And they put these bags over their heads and drag them off stage. Except for Mikey, apparently. Mikey usually, or maybe always, like, escapes. So he, like, pushes the guards away and runs away. I think that it's implied, I mean, because he continues touring with them, he's still part of the band, he's still, like, captured, he's still imprisoned. So I assume that they get him anyway, but there is this kind of defiant moment where Mikey, like, pushes the guards that are trying to get him away. And that is, like, I think something that's remained consistent throughout all the shows. And Gerard gets stabbed by a clown, and then the clown blows himself up. So it's like a play, kind of, but with also, there's, like, fucking amazing songs. Like, it kind of blows my mind, but, like, the performance and everything and, like, the concept blows my mind. And then I sometimes am like, oh, yeah, and the songs are incredible also. Like, it seems like too good to be true. I think eventually I want to make a video, like, talking about the tour in a more organized way. But right now, I'm just talking. I'm just telling you this is what's going on with me. I'm emo now. So yeah, I've listened to all of their albums at this point. though I still am kind of like getting into Danger Days. It doesn't really make sense to me yet, and it's so different from their early stuff. I'm kind of confused, to be honest, but I'm also really into it. I love when they fully get into a concept and how they all have their individual personas in the Danger Days universe. I think that's really awesome. I just kind of don't like quite get what it's about, and I think I just need to like watch all the music videos and like do a little bit of research, which is going to be really fun for me anyway. And maybe I'll read the comic book, because I know he wrote a comic book that takes place after the events of Danger Days. What is the TLDR of this? I never had an emo phase. I'm now 27. I've suddenly gotten into MCR, and I feel like I should have gotten into it literally like a decade ago, more than a decade ago. And I feel like I'm integrating a part of my personality that always should have been there, which is kind of a crazy thing to say. I don't know, like, this band already means so much to me, and it feels nuts. Like, how is this possible? I must be losing my mind kind of shit. But that's where we're at. Right now, I'm still so early in this that I know, like, I could recognize most of their songs, at least the ones on the albums, and I haven't listened to Conventional Weapons yet. I've listened to a lot of their stuff. I love most of it. And I feel like the stuff that I don't love, I haven't really, like, gotten yet, if that makes sense. But at the same time, there are very few songs that I've had on repeat. And most of the songs that I know, or that I love, I've had on repeat at least at some point, just to listen to it over and over again, because I love doing that. I was doing that a little bit with Cancer, just listening to that over and over, but not on the level that I have with some songs. Like, I remember the song Zinnias by Clairo. That was my top song of like 2022 or something. I fuck so hard with that song, but I was like listening to that on repeat for like a really long time. And not everything is on that level of on repeat, but it's unusual for me to listen to like an album on repeat all the way through. And that just shows how fucking good these albums are. I make monthly playlists normally where it's like, I don't know, like July 2025, here's what I'm listening to. And it's like some songs, and they're all by different artists. And like, here, let me look at my July playlist. So my July 2025 playlist, just to give you an idea, I'll put it in the description, why not? But this is what I was listening to before this. It's like, the first song is like Phoebe Bridgers, I've got David Bowie, I've got The Grateful Dead, I've got Bruce Springsteen, Nirvana, Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney. Maybe, that's such a good song. Maybe I'm Amazed by Paul McCartney. Amazing song. But anyway, yeah, Phil Oakes, just one song by him. I have Moth Song by Folk Bitch Trio, also a really good song. I have a Field Medic song. I have Panic Beach by Maria McKee, also an amazing song. And for some reason, Viva La Vida by Coldplay. It's a fun playlist. Pretty typical playlist for me. Like, I listen to a lot of like folk music. I listen to like older music most of the time. I love acoustic guitar. But this is July 2025. It's now like halfway through August. And I haven't made a new playlist yet because I'm only listening to MCR. And I only listened to this for like the first half of the month. The last song on here was added on July 14th. And then after that, I was like only listening to My Chemical Romance. I guess that what I want to say is, one, update about me. Like, this is what's going on. I'm literally obsessed with MCR. Two, the tour is really interesting. If you want to look into it at all, I feel like you won't regret it. It's just so interesting to me. And I have a lot of thoughts about it, but they're still kind of like forming. I mean, for fuck's sake, like, I didn't know about them literally like a month ago. Like, today is August 12th. July 14th is when I stopped adding to this playlist. I'm obsessed with this language that they made up. It's not actually a language. It's a cipher code font. I love it. You know what this says? This says, fuck the grand immortal dictator. I've just been writing shit in this language. I mean, font for my friends to give out at the Philly show because I can't go. What does this say? The dictator sucks. Like, I'm having so much fun right now, you guys. And just the music is, like, blowing my mind. Like, I just, like, am so in awe of every song on 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. I'm now starting to appreciate this one more, The Black Parade. just mind blown. But yes, so that's what's going on with me. Life update. I've become obsessed with MCR. Everyone in my real life knows this. It's hilarious and it's true. And I love becoming more annoying as I get older. And that is all I have to say. Except I'm going to finish this video by doing karaoke to the song Cancer by MCR because I have been wanting to do karaoke to that song and I think it's gonna be fun. So here you go. Goodbye. Turn away if you could get me a drink of water, 'cause my lips are chapped and faded. Call my Aunt Marie, help her gather all my things and bury me in all my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers still, I will not kiss you, 'cause the hardest part of this is leaving you. Now turn away, 'cause I'm awful just to see. Is all my hair is abandoned, all my body, all my agony. Know that I will never marry. Baby, I'm just soggy from the chemo, but counting down the days to go. It just ain't living, and I just hope you know that if you say goodbye today, I'd ask you